think the mind of a comedian's interesting. And one of the stories you tell I think is fascinating is that one of the guys that doesn't fit what we just described, at least with you, who wasn't insecure, wasn't angry, didn't root for your failure, was Jay Leno. In fact, he was the opposite. He helped you out every step of the way.
Well, I'm way below him, though. Don't forget, Jay's probably insecure, though. Look, I mean, Jay is not rooting for anyone.
So easy for Jay to be helpful and confident when he was sitting where he was? And
when you're the host of The Tonight Show, sure, yeah. Jay's always been good to comedians. But it's like, hey, look, he didn't take days off. Jay never took days off. He didn't want somebody else in that chair. Jay always spent his... He said he spent his gig money and his Tonight Show money all went in the bank because he's afraid of losing everything. So Jay is insecure like every comic, just with different stuff. He said that in Seinfeld's documentary.
Why do so many comics hate Jay?
I don't know. I think a lot of comics think that it's considered smart to hate Jay. I think a lot of people go with this, like, I want to be considered a smart comedian. Like, if you don't think Jay's funny, like, if you watch him and go, hey, I just don't think he's funny, like, okay, that's fair. You can like and dislike who you want. But it's like, for comedians to hate this guy, it's like, hey, dummies, he's the one who has been nice to all the stand-ups. Like, I've done Jay's show. Letterman put me on. He was great. But Jay's the guy that comes into the green room and talks to you. And it's like, hey, man, how are you? We're going to have a great time today. Like, he always made me feel very, very welcome. So
but it's cool to hate Jay.
People think it's cool. Like, he's this hick who has nothing hip to say, man. And meanwhile... he's a Boston comic who was at one point the biggest headliner in the country. So, again, I have no problem with guys that don't like his act because you're allowed to judge that. But if you think that Jay is just this square and you're this hip guy because you're performing in a rock club, you're delusional.